love thyself. Have true divine cosmic love for thyself. And I know it can get hard out here sometimes with so many things and attacks that come your way. But understand that's because you're a chosen one. You're chosen ones. It's a part of the fight. It's just a part of, this how it be when we stand out like we stand out. We got it on us. It's on us and it's in us. You hear me? It's on us and it's in us. You feel me? We them. We them. We them one. So it's gonna always be a fight. It's gonna always be a fight. But today we talking about a legend in my eyes. Government might not agree. But she's a legend in my eyes. And I have nothing but the utmost respect for her. And she's a revolutionary. And she stood 10 toes in this war against oppression. And regardless of how they try to paint her or configure her to be, when they talk about it, man, I'm sending nothing but peace to the goddess, Assata Shakur, who is still alive and ticking to this day. You feel me? Her story is the story that needs to be told from our point of view, as opposed to them watering this shit down on the History Channel somewhere or making her seem like the bad guy. Assata Shakur, very, very powerful goddess. You got to understand that she descends from warrior tribes. She has warrior lineage, a warrior lineage. In the astral realm, she comes from a very, and I don't even think she might be aware of this, but in the astral realms, I'm aware of her energy and her spirit. In the astral realms, Assata Shakur is a high-ranking, one of the high-ranking warrior goddesses that we have, spiritual assassins in the cosmos. Her galactic code is very powerful. The tribe that she descends from. So this is where a lot of her warrior energy come from. She might not even know it. She might just know that she stands against oppression. But you got some people that stand against oppression, and you got some people that stand against oppression. It's the difference. You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers that just stand against oppression and the motherfuckers that stand against oppression. You feel me? And she one of the ones that stand against oppression. You feel me? You is too if you watching me. You watching Rashad Jamal, and I am. And the government know it. You know what I'm saying? The feds know it, CIA know it, Revolutionary Poet and the feds know it. You see what I'm saying? Like I said in the song. You know what I'm saying? Black Messiah, CIA and the feds know it, Revolutionary Poet sniffing dead roses. You feel me? Assata was just a flat out cold-blooded gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't nothing nice about her. It's a lot of stories. Like, I know people, I can't say their name, but I know people that know people that used to be, that was deep in with the movement of the Panthers. And believe it or not, you got a lot of people that represent that movement or that energy, and they still out here ticking. They just moving under the radar. So I'm not going to ever say their name or put them out there like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you got to respect the goddesses, the gods and the goddesses, especially the ones that stand and fight for us. Assata Shakur, she landed on the realm in their year of July 16th, 1947. And when you look her story up on Wikipedia, which I'll pull it up on Wiki, because I always like to read to y'all what they have to say about her, and then I like to go deeper on our end, what she was really, how she was rocking and why she was rocking that way and the spiritual connection. But yeah, if you look up, they'll tell you that she was born Joanna Deborah Byron, July 16th, 1947. After she got married, her name became Joanne Chasmart. They'll let you know that she's a former member of the Black Liberation Army, and she was convicted of first-degree murder of State Trooper Werner Foster during a shootout on the New Jersey Turnpike in 1973. Shakur is wanted by the FBI. Keyword wanted, because she's still wanted to this day. Assata Shakur is wanted by the FBI, and there's a $2 million reward for her apprehension. All right. So this is some of the things they speaking of her on Wikipedia. And I'll just pause on certain little moments, and then after I read off certain little parts of Wikipedia of what they saying about her, I'm gonna go a little deeper on our end from our side and what she represents and the truth, about what happened in some of these cases they try to hit her with. But she was born in Queens, Flushing, Queens to be exact. Far as still being wanted by the FBI for the first degree murder of a state trooper. All right, so I want to highlight that. I want y'all to see how they was giving it up. You know what I'm saying? One of her charges is the murder of a state trooper, and This is 1971, 72, 73. You know, this a few years after they just killed Malcolm, they just killed Martin. It's tension in the country. It was on. You know, and you had the Panthers. Not every, I mean, the Panthers were standing on business, but you had certain sects that were standing on business. You know what I'm saying? Like the Panther 21, they was on a whole nother, like of all the sects of the Black Panthers, they might have been the most violent and aggressive outside of the Chicago chapter with Fred Hampton. That's why they killed Fred Hampton at 19. They was getting into whole shootouts with the police and killing police officers and all that. They understood who the oppressors was. They understood everything we talk about now, how we talk about, they understood the parts, how when I sit and I teach y'all about, you know, we was always warriors and we descend from tribes and we indigenous to the land. That was a big part of the Panthers' doctrine. You know, so that's why Huey Newton and them, they used to go read the actual law, the penal codes of every state. That's how they was able to police the police. They used to ride around and police the police, and it wasn't Huey Newton that just did that. Assata Shakur and them did it. They rode around there with police to police, you know, because they understood that this was our land. They understood the true reasoning of these so-called slave catchers posing as police officers, saying that they here to provide and protect. You know, what was going on then and what was going on now as far as with the police trying to kill us and hurt us and jail us falsely and beat us, that was going on then. That's why I say this isn't no new war. That energy, they just say, they use crack cocaine and drugs to cipher our energy, to take our energy away. We been on that energy, you know what I'm saying? We never was, you know, it was always those of us that was willing to risk their avatar for the greater good. And Assata Shakur, that's what she stood for. You know, like they try to paint her as this thug, like that was just out here wilding. No, she ain't never killed. She killed a lot of people, man. Assata Shakur got a lot of bodies that their son they don't even talk about because a lot of her bodies was on police officers. You know what I'm saying? Assata Shakur had well over 20 bodies to her name. And they'll never, and it wasn't just her. I'm talking about that Panther 21. You feel me? A lot of them had 10, 15 bodies to their murders to their name on state troopers and police officers and judges and congressmen. Like they was real aggressive with them racists. That's why they came down on them so hard. You know, but let me read a little more about what they saying. I don't want to, you know, take off on our end just yet. But it says she was born in Flushing, Queens. She grew up in New York City and Wilmington, North Carolina. All right, shout out to New York and shout out to Wilmington. In North Carolina, the Carolinas. But after she ran away from home several times, her aunt would let her act as one of her lawyers that took her in her cases, all right? She became involved in political activism in her teens at Borough Manhattan Community College in New York City. After her graduation, Assata Shakur joined the Black Panther Party for a minute. She briefly joined the Black Panther Party, all right? Now, we'll focus on that in a second. She then turned around and joined the BLA, which is the Black Liberation Army, which is different from the Black Panthers. They're, like I was telling y'all, that's two totally different things. We're going to get to it. Which was a loosely knit offshoot of the Black Panthers, which engaged in the struggle against the U.S. government through tactics such as robbing banks and killing police officers and drug dealers. All right? So Assata Shakur, she goes into the Black Panthers. Now, that's true when they say that part. She goes into the Black Panthers, right? And she immediately realizes what they stand for. She with it all day. But however, it was a sect. Okay, so that was the Panther 21 that Assata Shakur was a part of. All right. She has a blood brother named Matolo Shakur, who they don't want people to know that it's her blood brother. They make it seem like that was her friend. But Matolo Shakur was Assata Shakur's actual blood brother. All right. But Assata Shakur, this is how gangster she was. The Black Liberation Army was like the army. Was a new army they wrestled with them because that's all they know. You get what I'm saying? So now the Black Panthers was the intellectual side. You know, they was giving back to the community and they was doing a lot of teaching and spreading the word and the information. But the Black Liberation Army would be like the army of the Black Panthers. You see what I'm saying? Like they say, they went head on with the government through tactics such as robbing banks. Why? Because the banks, gangsters Assata Shakur was. And she ended up becoming like one of the leaders of the Black Liberation Army. Because that's how reckless, that's how cold-blooded she was. You know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't play. That's why when you look at her pictures, it's all in her eyes. You know, she was about that. She was about that action. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's why when people be saying they gangsters today, now they was gangsters, you feel me? They went head on with the government, like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Since y'all want to starve our people out and take all the money, well, nigga, we gonna get gangsters to come rob these banks and take this shit. Since y'all don't give our people none, we gonna take this shit from y'all. This our land anyway. That's the whole reason they was robbing banks. You know, the government want to paint them out. They was out here robbing banks. Now, there wasn't no thugs out here robbing banks to rob. They would rob the banks and get the money back to the communities. You know what I'm saying? Spread the money throughout the communities. That's what they was doing. That's why none of them was like overly rich. You get what I'm saying? They understood like, okay, shit, if we take all these banks down, then they ain't really got no money to play with like that. That's the type of time they was on. On top of that, they understood that the police was the biggest bully protecting the law, the litigation, because the litigation is all the laws that get put in place to enslave us. So the BLA, the Black Liberation Army, was like, shit, nigga, we gonna get on them. Because shit, without them, shit, none of this shit don't even matter. So they went to war with the police. They started robbing banks. And then anybody that was selling drugs in the community was good as dead. You know how, because the drug dealers then thought they was tough too. That wasn't nothing new. And the BLA like, hold on, man, these drugs gonna hurt our community. This shit gonna hurt our people. Y'all ain't finna be selling no heroin. And you had big heroin dope dealers then. You get what I'm saying? Crack hadn't hit yet, but the selling of heroin was a huge thing already, and it was already going on. And it was destroying the community. So they start killing them. They like, shit, nigga, y'all okay, y'all don't stop selling these drugs. Okay, we got y'all. They start sliding up on them, nailing them, killing them, kidnapping them, chopping their bodies up, dropping their ass off in sewers, throwing them off bridges. Like, they was getting down. Because, the drug dealers was like, awesome, we ain't with all that shit. Like, they looked at them and said they was some lames. Like, like today, if you come up in the hood and you trying to kick some intellect, they like, y'all some lames. Like, oh, okay, cool. That's just how gangster it was. That would be no different than today. That's like us in university going to war with the Crips and the Bloods. Like, fuck it, nigga, y'all ain't gonna stop gang banging and hurting our communities. All right, well, we gonna start sliding on y'all. Get y'all out the way so y'all can't hurt the people no more. That's the type of time they was on. This what made her so dangerous. You get what I'm saying? You gotta think what they was doing. A lot of people don't have a clue what they was really doing. They was like, nah, they wasn't playing. They was going to war with the streets. Anybody that was trying to hurt the community in the streets, they was going to war with the police, and they was robbing banks. The three main points that the elites use to hurt us is the streets, through drugs, all right, and nowadays guns, which none of that could happen back then because you had the BLA people like that they was killing shit. You see what I'm saying? They was trying to kill us. That's why I always say, man, you want to kill each other, nigga, kill something that's trying to kill us. Fuck killing each other, man, kill something that's trying to kill us. Anything vibrating low. That's what they was on. They just wasn't saying that. They just ain't say anything vibrating low. But if your ass was selling drugs, you vibrate low. Fuck, the motherfucker ain't care if you was black. Nigga, your ass was good as grass. You see Assata ass pull up on you, they hop out. She hop out with that shotgun. It was drug dealers in the New York area and the Virginia area and the Baltimore area that they was going city to city with it. They wasn't playing. They pulling up niggas getting out, getting up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And they was hopping out, chasing motherfuckers down. Like, it was a lot they was doing that they don't want to put in the media to protect the community. And Assata Shakur had her hands in a lot of that. She had her hands and her feet in a lot of that. That's why when I mention her name, I be like, real life gangster. You hear me? Like, she had her hands in a lot of that. You can pull up any picture on her. Them eyes gonna say it all. She ain't gotta open her mouth. Her eyes. Some people got them eyes, but they ain't gotta open their mouth. You know what I'm saying? You just look at their soul. You know how they come in like, yeah, he don't fuck around. She don't fuck around. You know what I'm saying? She was like that, but her cause was so righteous. That's what makes it so gangster. See, gangster ain't to all the youth in university, right? Blue Crystal babies. And yeah, y'all go ahead and screen record this. I know y'all always screen record, post it on YouTube. That's cool. I'm with all that because y'all in here. We a family. So I know this shit gonna hit YouTube, but like, that's what I was gonna say to the youth. Like, gangster is not picking up guns, killing each other, man. Like, I ain't had nobody to tell me that when I was when I was in the streets. I ain't had nobody to tell me that when I had lost myself and I was trying to remember who I was. We thought it was gangster to hurt each other. No, gangster is helping your community. That's gangster. Feel me? Gangster is like, hey, I made a mistake, but I'm going to change and become a better person. That's gangster. Nigga. That's gangster. You feel me? Not being afraid to be a mama to your mother, to your child. Even if you didn't have a mama. That's gangster. Not being afraid of trying to be a father to your kids when you have them, even if you ain't had no dad or father to lead you. Breaking generational curses, that's gangster. You feel me? We know money ain't everything, but until the monetary system crash, it's still something that's a necessity out here because these oppressors took everything from us. So being able to save your money up, pay your bills, put yourself in a position to win, giving back to your community, your team, your family, putting them in a position to win. That's gangster. You feel me? You know, if you got youth under you, which we always gonna have somebody younger than us, somebody older than us. If you got people younger than you and you lead them in the right way despite the mistakes you made, that's gangster. When you see the elderly and you respect the elders, even if they don't respect themselves or they don't respect you, it's how whatever walk off. Get them that respect first, though, always. And if you meet one of them elderly that act like they ain't got it all, just keep going because the energy gonna hit them back. The energy gonna help hit you harder, far as in a positive point, because you respecting your elders and you teaching and you respecting the youth. You feel me? That's gangster. You feel me? Picking up a gun and shooting each other. I know it feel gangster, you know, but that's not gangster. You know what I'm saying? That's not gangster, you know, because anything y'all shooting and fighting over, that shit can be resolved. Most of the hood shit is always around some female or, you know, nigga mad because he getting more money than you or, you know, it always start like that. Then when somebody get killed, it becomes a war forever. That ain't gangster. You feel me? What's gangster is going to war, fighting, shooting, killing, stabbing. Well, if you got to get violent for a righteous cause to help yourself, to help your species, to help your planet, to realize that that while you trying to attack each other, it's a bigger bully out here that's attacking y'all as a whole. You feel me? That's gangster. You feel me? And understanding that, hey, you know what? I could leave my avatar fighting against the government. I could leave my avatar fighting against the police. Yeah, you can, but you can leave your avatar just riding down the street in your car to the store too. Mm-hmm. So putting yourself in a position like, you know what? I know that when I take this lane, it's gonna come with a lot of heat. It's gonna come with a lot of pressure, a lot of tension. But this is what my planet need. This is what my people need. And if I gotta war about that, I'm willing to do that. If it means putting my own life on the line to see the advancement of the whole, I'm willing to do that because I care about the whole more than I care about myself because I know it's bigger than myself. That's gangster. You see what I'm saying? And that's what she stood for. That's what a lot of them Panthers stood for. That's what I stand for. That's what a lot of y'all stand for. You feel me? And yeah, it's going to be those who don't get it. It's cool. You feel me? It ain't meant for them to get it. You feel me? It's about understanding that we are under attack and being willing to do whatever it takes to meet those attackers head on. Not making excuses about why we not protecting our goddesses out here and why we not protecting our kids and why we not protecting our gods and protecting each other. Fuck all them excuses. Just realizing like, okay, spells was placed upon us. We fell in frequency, but now we know what's up, so we gonna move differently. That's gangster. You feel me? So I need the youth to know that, you know, because when I'm telling you that Assata Shakur was a part of the Black Liberation Army, you need to know how they was coming. You know, that's separate from the Black Panthers. You know, Black Panthers was just strictly the intellectual side, which was a major part because we needed those rallies. We needed those conferences. We needed those conversations. We needed that because people need to learn. But then after you learn, motherfuckers gotta be able to protect themselves now. Because once you open your third eye to who the oppressor is, and this is your land, and how we need to move, you got a bully right there that don't want you to be free. They don't want you woke. They don't want you to be aware of who you are. They don't want you to love yourself. He wants you to despise yourself. He wants you to put yourself down and your people down. You feel me? So that he can stay on top. And he wants you to help him do that. You feel me? And he ain't the type of bully that know how to be friendly. America with 3 Ks, he don't know how to be friendly. You know, we've came that way. We've came with hands up. We've came with hands out. We've came with hands together. You don't hear me. We've came with hands up. We've came with hands out. And we've came with hands together. And he's still killing us. He's still going to move aggressive because he fear you. So you can only try to be cool with this bully for so long before you got to get violent with him. Before you got to show him who you is and what you stand for. Right? You get what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with them. That's where we at with them. That's where they was at with them. Because you realize that it don't matter how you come. Every time we try to shake their hand, they smack our shit down and go upside our shit with a rifle. You get what I'm saying? So you can't make peace with somebody that don't know peace. How you gonna make peace with the soldier? You can't be in the middle of the field trying to make peace and this nigga trying to shoot you, right? That's the truth about the government. That's the truth about the higher ups. We call them the elites. When we say the elites, we don't mean elite as in they're an elite group of beings. We say that they the elites of their matrix that they created. And Assata Shakur, they knew all that. So they went with all the small talk. You get what I'm saying? They went with all the small talk. They went with that. That's why she left the Black Panthers and went into the BLA, because the BLA was for those who was ready to get active. The Black Panthers was more for those who wanted to learn, and they were still in that process of learning. They hadn't reached that state of chaos energy within themselves yet. Assata had that chaos energy in her, so it was like, I got to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? So she went and joined the BLA, which is it's still the Black Panthers, but it's like the army of the Black Panthers. Like, just like, you know, you got America and they got the Navy, and it, right, same thing like that. So now that you know who the BLA was, and they had launched a whole war against the government, you'll know why they was out here killing the police. You see what I'm saying? Why they was out here robbing banks, because without that being known, then it's just like they was just some thugs running loose. And that's how they painted them in federal court. That's how they painted Assata Shakur in federal court, like a mass murderer running loose. You feel me? But we're gonna keep reading about what they gotta say. You know, I had to add my points in there. All right. So they say between 1971 and 1973, she was charged with several crimes and was the subject of a multi-state manhunt. Okay. She was standing on business. That's why they was looking for her like that. In May 1973, Shakur was arrested after being wounded in a shootout on the New Jersey Turnpike. Also involved in the shootout were New Jersey State Troopers Werner Foster and James Harper and BLA members Sundiata Akoli, Malik Shakur. All right. State Trooper Harper was wounded. Zaid Shakur was killed, which is Malik Shakur, same person. Malik is his middle name. State Trooper Forster was killed. Between 1973 and 1977, Shakur was charged with murder, attempt murder, armed robbery, bank robbery, and kidnapping in retaliation to the shootout and 6 other incidents. So she had a lot of charges. She was very active in these. She was very active in these revolutionary streets. You get what I'm saying? All right, and that's just what they charged her with. I told you she had 1 level 20 murders, and they was all on state troopers, police officers, undercover federal agents, fucking bank managers, and they wasn't playing. You feel me? All right, so while serving a life sentence for murder, she escaped in 1979 from Clinton Correctional Facility, which is up in New Jersey. That's also, if you know anything about Pac, they had Tupac locked up in Clinton when they charged him with the sexual assault. They had him in Clinton Max. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he was rapping, talking my brothers up at Clinton Max doing they bid. Reach, his auntie had already been through that, and his mama. They was all in Clinton. And his stepdaddy, Matolo Shakur, before they put him in the feds, like they all was going through Clinton. You know what I'm saying? Because in New York, up that way, East Coast, definitely New York, you know, a lot of it, you know, you got Clinton, you got Sing Sing, you got Rikers Island, which is like the county jail and all that shit. So, you know, that Shakur name, this what I mean when I say people be trying to call Pac an agent. They like as if he don't come from a family full of motherfucking revolutionaries that was killing the police. You know what I'm saying? Like, people saying that, they acting like, now if he ain't had that background, that'd be different. I can see people saying that. When people be saying that shit about Tupac, I be like, they have no clue. You saying that because he went into Hollywood and put a couple albums out. You failing to realize that he never fit in Hollywood. He went in there, he tried. They let him in, they used it. He had a lot of energy. They used it, it brought him money. But they was going to kill Pac regardless. It was a situation where he was damned if he do, damned if he didn't, because Pac wasn't as gangster as his auntie and them. You know, Pac was more like Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? He was going to speak the truth because he come from that. If you could understand his stepdad, who fucking Matolo Shakur was, which I'll do a lecture on him too. And Matolo Shakur and Afeni Shakur were married. So if you can understand who the fuck Matolo Shakur was and how Afeni was giving it up intellectually, you understand already the household Pac come up in. And on top of that, Assata Shakur was his auntie. Because Assata Shakur is the brother of Matolo Shakur. So that was his auntie through marriage. And if you could understand that, how his auntie, Assata, was, because Afeni wasn't giving it up like Assata and Matolo. She was giving it up, though, with the intellect. But Matolo and Assata, they was stepping on shit. They was killing shit. They was robbing banks. They was kidnapping. They was on a whole nother frequency. So you got to understand that, to be honest with you, if I was Assata Shakur, I would damn near wouldn't even have Pac. Kept him over here in the States. I would have been on my way to Cuba with a side of some goddamn weird. But they was watching Afeni so fucking hard, right? This is why she had Pac. She was pregnant with Pac in jail because she was on trial for the Panther 21. This is all tied together into the incidents that Assata was doing. Listen, they didn't even really want, they didn't even care about Matolo, Shakur, and them like that. Even though Matolo and Shakur and them was getting busy, they wanted Assata. Assata was the motherfucker ringleader of it all. She was setting police officers up and everything, making them think she gonna give him some pussy, flirting with him. You see what I'm saying? She was straight Amazonian warrior. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you gotta understand the way they was getting. A lot of them was they was using young black goddesses that was in the movement. You know, the white cops got a thing for black chicks. I always did, because that's the mother womb. So they was using that against them. They knew that. Assata was a very beautiful goddess. Ain't like she was ugly. You know what I'm saying? She was aware she was beautiful and all that. But stone cold killer though. Because she understood her. She was moving for a purpose. It's different when you living for a purpose. It was like, it's no fear there. She understood what it was. Very, very dangerous individual, man. Because of how she was giving it up. Straight Black Widow. Feel me? It was times where they was locking up other Panther members. A lot of times when they had Assata cornered and she got away. Not many shootouts she had with the police and they end up hit up, and she get away a lot. That's why they said at one time they was a multi-state manhunt. And that wasn't the time when she got locked up for the goddamn shootout on the turnpike. The shootout on the turnpike is what she got convicted for. She did so much shit, she was fucking them people up. You gotta understand. She put in more work out of everybody in the BLA. She was the number one they wanted. Yeah, they wanted Matolo. They wanted everybody else, but they wanted Assata. She was the ringleader. She was the thinker. She was the executioner and a thinker. Straight assassin. Wasn't playing with them at all. She was chopping motherfuckers up the whole nine. Dressing up in all type of talking about the murder game. She was playing it all the way to the T. Dressing up, looking like dudes to get away with murders. Sometimes she act drunk. All of that. Like, she wasn't just, she was going out her way to hurt these people. You gotta understand, she was hurting these people, man. You own the bank, she come in your bank. Flirting with the manager, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, she meeting him out for dinner. he think he gonna get some. That night, they get back to his spot. She didn't slice his goddamn neck. She just shot him point blank range in the head. Like, she wasn't playing. Did the same thing with drug dealers. I know it was one incident where she cut a drug dealer penis off. Like, she was going all the way out. She was wanted. She was feared. They feared her. They feared her. They feared her. That's what you got to know. She struck fear into their souls. And as we keep going on with this lecture, you're going to see how much fear she struck. See, they don't play her story like that. But to this day, she's still the most wanted, though. And ain't just because she escaped. Yeah.